sure we're going live. There we are. So we are live. John Mayfield, the Real Estate Tech Guy. Thanks so much for joining. I want to go into some rules and regulations from the Missouri portion of your state exam. Remember, there are 40 questions on the Missouri exam. They actually will give you 45, so don't let that disrupt your test-taking day. They're always testing out some new questions. I don't know why they have to do that. It's nerve-wracking enough to take your state exams, and then they want to go and throw 5 more like you just have extra time to help them out, figure out if these 5 will be okay. But they do that. So, but you're only scored on 40 of the questions, and on the state side of the exam, you're going to look at the rules and regulations for Missouri, license law, things that pertain to Missouri only, okay? So what I find is that most students have more trouble with the business, with Chapter 8, the business conduct and practices. So that's what we're going to go over today, okay? And I am going to take you over to the board, and we are going to look at some of the items here. And by the way, a quick plug, if you go to Help Me Pass the Real Estate Exam, Help Me Pass the Real Estate Exam.com. It's like when I was a kid in school, I always ran out of space. You want to do / and then type in this, okay? So hopefully you'll get all of this here. Missouri, and I'll redo this on another spot. Missouri cheat sheet. Okay? Now, in fact, why don't I open a new tab, and let me just show you that right here. So I am going to go up here to the top, right there, and I'm going to type in Missouri, or first of all, you want to type in help. I'm on the wrong keyboard. I have 2 keyboards here, and we're on the other, so I want you to go to Help Me Pass the Real Estate Exam. Oh, we have to put the .com / Now I want to make sure I spelt that right, because I'm over Help Me Pass the Real Estate Exam.com, and then you want to type in Missouri cheat sheet, and this should be it. If not, we'll try it again. So let's see. This is when you say a prayer. It can't be, I know what the problem is. You may have to put the, right up here. One thing I found out is you don't want to get discouraged if something doesn't work. Let's try www.helpmepass. Oh, I spelled real estate wrong. I spelled real wrong. So let me fix that. Right up there. I should have caught that earlier. I left the A off. Okay, here we go. Help me pass the real estate exam.com / Missouri cheat sheet. And there you go. Because I have a free cheat sheet you can download right there. So check that out. It has some things that I think will help you out. You just put your name and your information in, and you can access the cheat sheet, okay? So just wanted to give you that. Okay. So we may not go over all of this, but if you actually download the cheat sheet, it will cover all of this in detail. You can take it with you. In fact, I would put it on your mobile phone and it'll really help you pass this part of the test because I've taken all the junk out and given it to you so you can understand it. Okay, I've done this before and I think a lot of people really appreciate it. I'm going to start doing this throughout Missouri and many of the other states I have as well. Let's take a look at this first little section here and know that every real estate broker, and then they have this word except. Who's the exception? Okay. And what are they talking about here? Well, those who have placed their licenses on inactive status, okay, or those who are not actively engaged in the real estate business shall maintain a regularly established place of business in this state, which shall be open to the public during regular business hours or at regular stated intervals. Now, what do we mean by that? Because that's a good question, a good point we need to understand. Well, basically, if you have a broker's license and you're going to operate, there's some other exceptions here. You need to have a place of business. Now, good example, my wife and I lived, and it will cover two parts here to this question that I want you to understand. My wife and I owned a home. It's actually a cool story because we bought the home twice. We loved it that much. We still love it and miss it. But last year we were kind of like, you use the office in the basement. I use the office in the basement. My wife's we're talking about this. I use the office in the basement, and we use the kitchen, living room, our bedroom, and the dining room we eat in. And other than that, we didn't really use the rest of the house. We had 3 floors, the basement, main floor, and a top floor. It was a lovely home. We loved it immensely. We thought, you know what? We probably need to get a condominium. And so we bought a condo. We absolutely love it. We were worried. We got rid of a lot of stuff, but I tell you what, it's just been one of the best decisions we've made. And so we miss our home, but we're really enjoying the condo life. And I'm actually broadcasting right now from a bedroom that I converted into an office. So this is kind of my command center. However, condo rules and regulations, the Homeowners Association says you can't run a business out of your home, the condo. Okay? We talk about that in the main course, right? You got to make sure you know what the rules and regulations are of the association's rules or the homeowners associations. And it also says you can't rent your unit out. Have to be 55 or older. I know you're saying, you don't look like you're 55, John, or over 55. Thank you. Many of you are saying, no, you look pretty old, John. Hopefully that's not the case. But anyway, I had to rent an office because I have Mayfield Real Estate, Inc. I still list and sell real estate. I'm still active in the business. My daughter helps me, and we run a team, and I love selling real estate. And so I had to have a regular place of business. Why? Because the condo association would not allow me. And secondly, if I wanted to run a business out of my home, a real estate brokerage out of my home, then I have to have a separate entrance for people, my agents and the consumers, to come in and out. And I also have to have what? Slated hours. We talk about that right here, right? So you can see it says, and shall maintain a regularly established place of business, which I do now in this state, which shall be open to the public during usual business hours or at regular slated intervals. Well, my daughter and I have a sign that we're getting ready to put up because we just moved in recently, but that's one of the things on our list. And we've been going over there quite a bit, but we're not going to be there every day. And so it's hours by appointment only. At my house, I had my office in the basement. I had a separate entrance to a separate place of the office. And by using hours by appointment only, everything was fine. At least I was audited in my previous house, and the auditor didn't say anything. In fact, he sat in the basement and did the audit. Okay, so if you're a broker in Missouri, you got to have a place of business, unless you're not actively engaged. So you could say, I'm not really engaged. I could have my broker's license and not really be engaged because I speak and train and I do the online school. I wouldn't really have to have 212 West Columbia Street, Suite B. But because I'm actively engaged in the business, I have to have a separate place away from the condo because the condo association won't allow me to have a business here. And the key is you have to be open for the public, okay? Now, continuing on, I'm going to go here and we're going to go with green just for fun. No salesperson may be associated with a broker not maintaining a regularly established place of business or a broker not actively engaged in the real estate business. So my daughter works with me on the team. Anne does a great job. And I also have another husband and wife team, Al and Carla, who are on my team or who are part of my office. If I didn't have a regular place of business, then Al and Carla and Ann could not be licensed underneath me, according to what that statement says there. So again, these are people who has to have a place of business, and really that's what we're talking about right there. Now, this is probably an exam question, and I'm going to come over here. This rule does not apply to a broker salesperson or a broker partners or broker associates or broker officers of a firm which maintains a regular place of business. So I'm going to come out here and I'm going to do, let's refresh this, brainstorming some stuff there. Come over here and right here. Okay, so I just want to tell you that we need to understand when in Missouri you have the broker. And the broker has to have a license. Now, this broker could be just an individual who's a sole. I was a creative speller, an individual. I had to type a word the other day. Squirrel was the word. I was helping someone and we were looking this up, and I was trying to type it in, and I was like, these are the types of words I would get in a spelling bee, and I'd get knocked out right in the first round. So anyway, individual, could be an individual. It could be a corporation. It could be a partnership, right? You and I could go into a partnership. We probably wouldn't want to do that because partnerships sometimes are tough to continue forward. And then it could also be an association. Now, if it's a corporation, So I want to just show you how mine works. My structure is this way. Mayfield Real Estate Inc. is the broker, the corporation. I'm then listed as the designated broker. That's my license, okay? So my license is vested as a broker officer. Now, why is that? Because Inc., I'm incorporated. If I was a partnership, my license would be what? It would be a broker partner. And here I just want to make sure that's if a partnership. Okay? If it was an association, it would be what? A broker associate. So here's what you need to know. Years ago was interesting. We just had our fall business conference at Westport Plaza. And I'm not saying this to brag in any way, okay? I'm just telling you that I was honored and just blown away that the Missouri Realtors selected me as the 2025 Realtor of the Year. So very heartfelt, very touching, and I was so thrilled and honored to get that. Now, I actually went to real estate school at Westport Plaza, the same place we had our conference 47 years ago. And I didn't know what to say on my speech because I was so caught off guard. And sometimes I talk way too much and tell too many stories. But I just said, it's kind of ironic. I thought about it that week, and I was telling my daughter who was with me, and we had a booth there for the real estate school. I said, Annie, I went to real estate school, and that building over there was a big bronze building, bronze mirrored type windows. And it was a Century 21 school, and Del Roach was my instructor. I still remember who my instructor was, and that's where I went to school. And I thought, when I got up there to give the award, I said, little did I know that 47 years ago when I was sitting in that building preparing for my real estate course, my exam and my license, would I be getting an award just across the way. So it was very, very touching. But I tell you that because at that time, I was just a salesperson. And then about 2 years later, I went back to get my broker's license. And since my mom was the broker of Mayfield Real Estate Inc., I couldn't be a broker officer. I mean, I could have been a broker officer at that time if she wanted me to, but I was a broker salesperson. Okay? Now, notice that as we go back over here to look at to this, go back over here, there we go, that this rule does not apply to a broker salesperson or to a broker partner, a broker associate, or a broker officer where their firm maintains a regular place of business. So you're going to see a question, maybe two, right from this paragraph. And there's lots of ways that they can ask you that. Now, I want to cover one more section, and then we're going to pick up on this tomorrow. But I want to remind you to go over here to help me pass. It's right up there. at the top, help me pass the real estate exam.com/Missouri cheat sheet. Okay? So help me pass the real estate exam.com/Missouri cheat sheet. I have several things there that you can learn from, and there's a lot of topics from this section. So just click on the button right there and put your information in, and it'll take you right over, and you'll be able to get that cheat sheet. And I think I email it to you, and that's why I need that information there. And so anyway, I've got some other cool things that we're providing over this whole specific size. Now, this specific state material. Now, this is very important right here. A broker's business sign of sufficient size to identify it and bearing the name under which the broker or the broker's firm is licensed, okay, that's what's on your license, or the regular business name shall be displayed outside of the broker's regular place of business. And I mentioned to you that when I had my office in my basement, and I was operating there in the basement, that I had a door and I had a sign and everything was legit, and I could have agents working underneath me. So want to thank you for joining. Don't forget, download that cheat sheet. Check us out at globalrealestateschool.com. We have lots of stuff there. In fact, I think I have that's just to tell you we get some 5-star reviews, and we do. I think I need to go this way. There we go, to be lined up. But lots of stuff we have. Now I need to go further over that way, I think. My Real Estate Exam Coach, we have audios and practice questions. I want you to know I've actually just put up a lot of new exam questions, and we even can help you generate some leads after you get your license. We have a support page, and actually you can actually go out there if you want. It's globalrealestateschoolsupport.com. I have glossaries for all of the various states that we are approved in. I have videos out there. And the really cool thing is you just have to go up and type in a few letters. So, whatever you're looking for definition-wise, just type in, if you want to know about meets and bounds, click on the bar up there, type in the first few letters, and it'll take you right over and you can find out more. So all the handbooks and different things are there as well. Well, it is 8:35 on a Tuesday night. Beautiful night outside. My wife and I just had to run out and do a couple of things and got my vehicle washed, and was really nice outside. So hope you are doing well. I'm back on a nutritional journey and had a great week this last week. And so if you watch some older videos, you'll see I was like really big, not that big, but I had a pretty big, I look at them and I'm like, holy cow, did I get that big? But I lost 50 pounds the first go round. And I thought, man, my wife and I both got on the program and we both lost 50 pounds apiece. So we felt so good. We got rid of aches and pains and, wearing clothes I hadn't worn for ages and sizes. And we really kept it off for a long time. The last couple of years, we kind of got off program. And so I'm back on that same, my wife and I both are back on that same program. I lost 8.5. I think it was 8.5, 8.8 ounces the first week. And my wife lost 7.2. So together we're like right at 16 pounds that we both lost. And you know what? I signed back up as a coach because I want to help people with nutrition and help. So if that interests you, reach out to me. I'll be happy to coach you with your nutritional journey, your health journey. I'm telling you what, we need to be more, this time I did not go back on the program this time because of weight. I went back on because I'm 65 now and I want to be more healthy. I want to live longer and I want to, I want to get the junk out of my system. And I'm telling you what, I can tell a huge difference just after those first 3 days. You get all of that sugar and processed stuff out of your system. It feels great. And the last few days I've been running on all kinds of energy. And I mean, that's why I'm doing a live stream here tonight at 8:30. And I've been working all day and getting lots of stuff done, but I just feel better. And so if that interests you, reach out to me. If you want to get your real estate test, globalrealestateschool.com. I think you'll like it. Other people do. And so love to have you as part of that. Hey, thanks again for joining. I hope you go out and have a great day.